Wait, is that a drip right there? Yo. Oh my god. This is my Escalade I've been daily driving for the last 6 months, and I just got back from taking it on a 1,500-mile road trip. Surprisingly, the only thing I ran into the whole time was disappearing oil, which we'll talk about later. But after the trip, while I was getting the car washed up, I found yet another problem this thing's been hiding from me. Guess what I just found out? This shock has no air in it. Wait, let me see this side. Look at it. There's no air, it's like torn open. Looking back, I'm honestly surprised it took me this long to notice. Like whenever I was towing with it, the rear end of the car would completely sink to the floor. Nah, bro, I think it's on the floor. Now that I think about it, I've never heard any compressors kicking in at all. And the cherry on top, I decided to take it into a whole other country. All right, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this. Yeah, ever since I got it cleaned, I actually haven't gotten a chance to like take a look at it again. It's completely empty. Okay, this is usually supposed to be a little inflated. Imagine being able to stick your hand in the shocks. Like this is supposed to be fully firm and everything. So this is all completely bad. Yeah, let's take a look at the other side. Let's see if it's the same situation. Oh yeah, like the same thing. So both of these are completely locked up. Now I haven't gotten a chance yet, but I want to see if the front ones are bad as well too. Alright, let's see if we can just look in here. Chat, my brakes are cooked. That whole rotor is rusted out, but I don't know, I'll deal with that later. Another 2 years with that. I can't actually see inside there. See, maybe we can see it better now. Oh yeah, so we have way more space now. Oh brother. Okay, let's take a look at the other side. I thought at least the fronts would be doing way better. And what surprises me more, I don't have a single air suspension light, which is a little concerning. Bro. I mean, everything's intact. Nothing looks worn out at all. How is it doing that well driving? Here's why it is. After doing a little more research, I found that the Escalade uses air only in the rear and the front are electronic. So they're most likely still working, explaining why I never noticed anything wrong with handling. The second thing I'm worried about is the tread. Okay, I don't know too much about tires and alignment, but I'm really scared that if I keep driving like this, it'll just keep wearing out my tires. All right, I can't find a penny. Oh my God. See how much the toothpick is showing? They're about identical. So not an emergency, it isn't completely leveling one side and leaving the other side high, which is what I was worried about. It's a little hard to say what I'm gonna do now. I just can't believe it took me this long to realize the shocks were gone. I bought this car late summer and we're in spring. I'm guessing because the way the suspension is on this car, it doesn't completely ruin the driving. So it's not like a catastrophic failure where like the suspension is completely popped out of place or something really serious. The only thing I'm noticing is over the past few months, I am noticing that the speed bumps are really rough. I'm just surprised there's no suspension light. So it looks like it's not going to be as easy just replacing the suspension. It may be the compressor, struts, and make sure all the wiring is good because I have no idea how it looks down there. But before I can fix anything, I need your input with something. I have a couple options. I can easily replace the air suspension. It shouldn't be too complicated. Pretty much plug and play. The only one downside, it's going to be a little expensive. So I want to make sure I make the right move. I have a couple options. One, we completely remove the air suspension and we go with fully static struts. They're cheaper, they're a lot more durable. They just get the job done and I won't have to worry about it almost ever again. Or we dump a little bit more money than getting air suspension and get a complete lift on this car. So just let me know down below what should I do. These next couple of months are going to be pretty fun. That's all I can say. Today I do want to figure out what's going on with the oil. Oh my God. Lucky for us, this video is sponsored by Wolfbox. The Wolfbox Megavolt 24 Air is basically the ultimate roadside emergency tool because it combines a 4,000 amp jump starter and a tire inflator all in one device. So if your battery dies, you can just connect the clamps, hit the button, and it can instantly jumpstart 12-volt vehicles. And on a single full charge, it can do up to 40 jump starts. It's also got a built-in 160 PSI air compressor. If your tire pressure drops, you can plug in the hose and inflate the tires super fast. It also doubles as a 65-watt fast charging power bank, so you can charge phones, tablets, even laptops right from the unit. And if you're ever stuck somewhere at night, there's a 400 lumen emergency flashlight with strobe, SOS, and high beam mode. It's also IP64 rated with 10 safety protections, so it's safe to use even in the roughest conditions. If you want to check it out for yourself, I'll put a link to the Wolfbox Megavolt 24 Air in the description. Right now they're actually running two big promotions on Amazon's Lightning deal and a spring sale from March 25th to March 31st, where the price drops all the way to $129.99. And if anyone out there is heading to the 2026 Easter Jeep Safari, Wolfbox will be there from March 28th to April 3rd, so feel free to stop by and check out the gear and meet the team. Like I said earlier, we're losing oil and I can't tell if it's getting burned up or it's leaking from somewhere. And before we jump into any conclusions, let's take a look under the car and see what's going on. Let's start with this side. Wait, I think I see it. Wait a second. That's not good. Whoa, that's a pretty bad leak. Wait. Oh yeah. That side. I don't understand. Yo, shut up, Siri. Look at that side and look at this side. You see how there's a little dark stripe right there? Wait, is that a drip right there? Bro. Yo, is it that bad of a leak? I think I know why. I never noticed that. I think every other time I've worked on this car, the undercarriage is already wet from like rain or snow or something. Since this is technically the first like warm day we have, everything's dry, which is why I'm probably now noticing it. I do want to see where the leak is coming from. This is nothing new. Now I'm gonna try looking from above and seeing if there's anything visible, because now with all this sunlight, I can actually look inside there and see the valve covers are not leaking. Man, I'm not noticing anything. I'm gonna have to send you guys down there because I can't see anything. The exhaust manifold's in the way. I'm gonna look at the footage later on. Let me know what you guys notice. Definitely is worn out. Wait, that's a little shiny up there. Hold up. I'm gonna say that's the previous owner missing the fill hole. Yeah, I don't know. Something's going on here, but I can't tell if this is what I'm seeing down there or this is a completely separate incident. Let me go back under because I'm not noticing anything. Oh look, I have another drop here. Is it just draining oil? Look at this mess. Yeah, let me know if you guys see anything. It's just really messy in here. Okay, so this is all oil right here. All oil. Oil on the drain plug, but it's not coming from here. It drips all the way up here. There's no way for oil getting from here to here. This is all probably like coming from the same spot up here somewhere. Where that spot is what I'm struggling on finding. I don't know why I can't like tell what's going on. I'm really bad at finding oil leaks or any leaks in general. The oil dipstick never changes. It's always gonna be saying the same exact thing. It's just really hard to tell if it's low or high with this dipstick. I don't know if this is an Escalade thing. So I never really know if I'm overfilling something or filling something exactly. Before we try finding out where this oil is going, I wanna find out, have I really been losing oil or was I just overfilling it this whole time? And to do that, we're gonna measure every single drop that comes out of this engine. I definitely over tightened when I did this before. Now I gotta go grab a hammer. All right, got it. There we go. All right, back to what we were doing. Oh no. How do you even get ready for that? Look, it got all over me. At least we know it's not a catastrophic leak, and I caught this before it got worse. I think I dropped the drain plug in here. Oh, there we go. Oopsie. Before we get the rest of the oil that's in the filter, I need more space. So we're actually gonna go ahead and empty this guy out. 2 quarts in here and a gallon, which is 4 quarts. So in total here we have 6 quarts. So we're gonna go ahead and fill this bottle up all the way. And the oil isn't bad. I think it's about 2,000 miles worth of oil. So it isn't terrible. Also, quick question. Does anybody know why Mobil 1 oil turns red after a little bit? Like, look how red that is. I don't know. It used to all turn black, but whatever. Yeah, we're still a long way to go. Bro, we're not even halfway. Oh my God.
A few minutes later.
All right, the gallon's finally full. We're gonna go ahead and close this guy. So right now we're at 1 gallon, which is 4 quarts. I'm gonna hit one of these. Now this is full. Now we're at 5 quarts. We still got a little bit more oil in there. Let's go ahead and drain the rest of the oil filter, and then from there we should know. I can't get it out. Oh wait, never mind, I got it. Slowly moving it. Okay, there we go. Ooh, that took like a good couple of minutes. Every time I do an oil change, I remember everything but the gloves. So basically have to like get every inside. Oh my God. Okay. Still no oil on our hands. Let's see. Ooh. See if we can get it. Oh, now I got a little oil. No. Alright, yeah, I don't care anymore. My hands are already. Oh, snap. Oh, it got all over my hand. I don't want to drop it in there, so we're just gonna go ahead and empty it. Oh my God, no. Alright, there we go. Got a new filter. Oh, snap. Alright, that's good. Let's go see how much oil we have. Look at how bad it is. That's better. After measuring every drop out of this engine, we got 5.4 quarts of oil out of the 6. And factoring the fact that I probably put 3 quarts in since the last oil change, we definitely have a bad leak. So we're gonna get this whole guy in here. This Escalade takes 6 quarts of oil, so we're gonna go ahead and add to the 600 mark, and then we're gonna go ahead and remeasure. Yo, I'm using the wrong bottle. Oh my God. How did I not realize it? Oh my God, bro. Oh no. Okay, here we go. So this is the right bottle. I just don't think a couple of drops of this car's old oil is really gonna cause any damage. Alright. I swear to God. All right, at least we now know the oil isn't leaking into like any other system, and it's not transmission fluid. I'm having a feeling it has something to do with the head gasket. Let me know what you guys think about that. But as of now, I'm gonna keep topping it off. Hopefully really soon I'm gonna have a video where I actually try deep diving and work on it and see what's really going on with it. But like I said, these next few months are gonna be crazy. I have so much planned, so if you don't wanna miss out, make sure to hit that red button, and I'll see you all in the next one.